Okay, welcome to Monday. Go ahead and get out your homework. One quick note about the homework, it was all graphs. I'm going to choose not to grade this particular one. If you have any specific questions and you're dying to know whether you got things right or wrong, please email me and we'll dive into it a bit more. So we're going to jump right into the semester review. So this is one of two semesters final reviews. Today we'll review chapters 6 through 8. Wednesday we'll do 9 through 11. And remember, there's a whole week between Wednesday and when you actually take your final. So here's what a good student should do. Now, granted, on this Thursday you should be studying for your English final. Um, and each day, the day before your specific final, you should be studying for that final. But do not wait until Wednesday to look at the math. So devote at least 10 or 15 minutes every day. You got plenty of time. 10 or 15 minutes every day to look over the reviews, right? You should thumb through them. Remember, as always, the review that I give you is a duplicate of the test. So the questions I ask will be asked on the test. No, nothing more, nothing less. Everything that's asked on the review will be asked on the test. Instead of asking you 4 questions, maybe I ask you 2 questions, that sort of thing. But if it's on the review, it will be on the final. Okay, 6th grade. Some quick general notes. It will be a multiple choice test, meaning that you got to get the answer. When you do the problem and you get 3, if 3 is not A, B, C, or D, you have done something wrong. Look over your work, try to find your mistake. The review, as I just previously said, is exactly like the test, right? The test will be a bit fewer questions, but if it's on the review, it will be on the test. So use your time wisely. Use your time wisely. I cannot strongly say that, or I can't say this strongly enough. You must do the practice test. It's at the bottom of the Google Forms, right? There's going to be one today, one Wednesday. Do both of those multiple times, multiple times. I'm not saying you got to do 4 hours of work every day, but devote 15 to 20 minutes every day to doing some of these problems. Even if you've already gotten it right, do it again. Just make sure it's very well understood, the techniques, the procedures, and you're confident that you will do well on the test. Yeah, the ones that you're getting wrong on the practice test, do those multiple times. I mean multiple times until you see what your mistakes are. It's locked in your brain, the procedures and those techniques. Test is in a week. You got plenty of time to get ready for this test. If you run into any issues, please email me. We can do a Zoom meeting. I can give you extra worksheets if there's just one item that, oh, that's the one I really need a lot of work on. We can do that as well too. So we're just going to jump right into the topics. I'm not going to do all the problems on the practice test. I'll do some of them. Remember, this is half of the actual test. This practice test today and the practice test on Wednesday make up the complete test. So you need to review both of these, Monday's material and Wednesday's material. All right, so here's what it's going to look like. This is question number 1 on the practice test. It looks like we're adding fractions. All right, so let's see. The rule for adding fractions and subtracting fractions is you're allowed to add or subtract fractions as long as you have common denominators. That's the bottom number on the fraction. Do we have common denominators? The answer is no. So we need to make a common denominator. So we think of the multiples of 5 and 8. 5, 10, 15, 20, 8, 16, 24, so forth and so on until we get to the common denominator, least common multiple, which in this case is 40. 5 goes into 40 and 8 goes into 40. So we need to turn both of the original fractions right there to have denominators of 40. So what times 5 is 40? That would be 8. Notice I'm multiplying by 8 over 8, not just 8, but 8 over 8, because truly 8 divided by 8 is 1, so I'm not really changing the fractions. I'm changing how it visually looks, but I'm not changing its value because I'm just multiplying by 1. 7/8, what times 8 is 40? That's 5, so we're going to multiply the second one, 5 over 5. And then we do that math. Remember, multiplying fractions, we multiply straight across. 6 times 8 is 48, so we get 48 over 40 plus 7 times 5 is 35, 35 over 40. Pause the video if you need to hear that again or look it over, make sure you understand where these numbers come from. Once you have common denominators, you simply add the numerators, the top numbers. 48 and 35 is 83. All right, 83 over 40 is fully reduced. Let's see, is that one of the answers? No, it's not. But notice, it looks like the answers are mostly mixed numbers. So maybe if we convert 83 over 40 into a mixed number, we'll get the right answer. Okay, so 40 goes into 83 twice with 3 left over, so 2 and 3/40, and that's answer B. All right, what happens when you're trying to add mixed numbers and proper fractions? Well, there are many techniques. The technique that I taught was just so that we have one technique for everything. Let's just always convert our mixed numbers into improper fractions before we add, subtract, multiply, or divide. It's not that you must, right, for addition. It's just that it makes it easier, and it's one rule for add, subtract, multiply, and divide. So if you see mixed numbers, step one, let's make them into improper fractions. All right, to make 4 and 5/8 into an improper fraction, 8 times 4 is 32, plus 5 is 37, 37 over 8. Rewind if you need to hear that one again. Hey, do we have common denominators? Nope. All right, 8 and 2. What number do both of those go into? Well, the smallest one would be 8, so the common denominator is 8. So once again, I rewrite both fractions that have a common denominator of 8. Now the first one, it already has an 8, so obviously you don't need to multiply by 1. The second one, however, you do. All right, what times 2 is 8? That would be 4. And yes, it would be crazy to multiply the first one times 1. I just wanted to show you that what we're really multiplying both fractions is by 1, because 4 divided by 4 is 1 over 1. All right, let's see. 37 times 1 is 37. 1 times 4 is 4. So we get 37 over 8 plus 4 over 8. Where did they get the 8s from? 8 times 1 is 8. 2 times 4 is 8. That's the denominator multiplication. All right, we have common denominators. Let's add 37 and 4. It's 41. Okay, look at the answers. Maybe 41 over 8 is an answer. It's not, but they're all mixed numbers. So let's see. 8 goes into 40. 5 times with 1 left over. 5 and 1/8, that is answer D. What changes when we do subtraction? Nothing. Same process. Step 1, common denominators. 3 and 7. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21. 21 is the common denominator. Both fractions. What times 3 is 21? That's 7. What times 7 is 21? That would be 3. Okay. Multiply straight across. 2 times 7 is 14. 3 times 7 is 21. Minus 2 times 3 is 6. 7 times 3 is 21. 14 minus 6, right? All we do is subtract the numerator. We do not subtract the denominators. 4 times 6 is, or 4 times, 4 minus 6 is 8. 8 over 21 is fully reduced, and that is answer B. Remember, when you have mixed numbers, right, let's make them into improper fractions first. 1 4/5. 5 times 1 is 5, plus 4 is 9. That's 9/5. Common denominator, 7 and 5. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. 35 is the common denominator. All right, let's see. We've got to turn them both into 35. What times 5 is 35? That would be 7. What times 7 is 35? That would be 5. Multiply straight across. 9 times 7 is 63, minus 2 times 5 is 10. Okay, all over 35. 63 minus 10. We don't subtract the denominators, just the numerators. 63 minus 10 is 53. Look at my answers. Maybe 53 is one of the, it's not. 35 goes into 53 one time. You're going to do a little bit of scratch work on this, and it turns out with 18 left over. Okay. Cool? All right, that's topic 1, add and subtract fractions. Topic number 2, well, we kind of just did it right there, but we'll still do some other ones. Multiply fractions. The rule for multiply fraction is to multiply numerators with numerators, denominators with denominators, straight across. Straight across. So let's see. 3 times 9 is 27. 2 times 10 is 27. 2 times 10 is 20. Sorry. Is that an answer? It is not. Is it fully reduced? It is. Let's make it into a mixed number. 20 goes into 27 once, with 7 left over, and that is answer C. Now, even though you can add mixed numbers, right, without making them into proper fractions, you are not ever allowed to multiply mixed numbers, right? So for this one, we have to. And that's why I make it just a basic rule. Whenever I deal with mixed numbers, make them into improper fractions, and that way I don't have to worry about 2 or 3 different rules. All right, so let's see. Let's make that mixed number into an improper fraction. 3 times 2 is 6, plus 1 is 7, so we get 7. Oh, my animation's out of order. 7 over 3 times 1/8. Clearly, you can already see the answer. Tops with tops, bottoms with bottoms, multiply straight across. 7 times 1 is 7. 3 times 8 is 24. Answer B. I will say this. The ones that I chose for all these examples, very rarely are we reducing. Remember, you do have to reduce, right? Just turned out that all the ones that I chose, none of them needed to be reduced. So that's topic number 2, multiplication. We've done a bunch of multiplication already. How about we move on to topic 3, division. All right. Remember, the rule for division is copy, dot, flip. Copy the first fraction. Change division to multiplication. That's the dot. And the flip is the second fraction. You basically flip the fraction. All right, I'm sure my animation's out of order. I apologize. So let's see. That would be 7/8 times 5 over 1. Multiply straight across. 7 times 5 is 35. 8 times 1 is 8. We get 35 over 8. Not one of the answers. It is fully reduced. 8 goes into 35 4 times with 3 left over. So 4 3/8. Answer A. All right. Once again, I got mixed numbers. So let's change it to an improper fraction. 7 times 1 is 7 plus 6 is 13. We get 13 over 7. Let's do a copy dot flip. Yes, my animation's still out of order. All right, 9 over 5 times 7 over 13. Multiply straight across. 9 times 7 is 63. 5 times 13 is 65. And that is answer A. Once again, still no reducing. Just be ready for some reducing. All right, topic 1 was add, subtract. Topic 2, multiply. Topic 3 is divide. Moving on to topic 4, proportions. Remember this? I haven't done this in a while. The rule for solving proportion is cross multiply. We do cross, so literally make a cross. All right, that would be 2 times x is equal to 3 times 8. Look at those numbers. Look at the original problem. See where I got those numbers from. Remember, you make 2 crosses. 2 times x equals 3 times 8. That's the rule for solving proportions. Now it's just an algebra problem. 3 times 8 is 24. Where's the x? Left side. What's attached to it? 2. How is it attached? Multiplication. How do you get rid of multiplication? You divide both sides by 2. 2 divided by 2 cancels or turns into 1. That's what the big red line means, 1. 1 times x is x. 24 divided by 2 is 12. X equals 12. Answer D. Do another one? Sure. All right. Remember, solve a proportion, cross multiply. 2 times 6 is equal to 3 times x. 2 times 6 is equal to 3 times x. Do a little bit of algebra. 2 times 6 is 12. Where's the variable? Right side. What's attached to it? 3. How is 3 attached to x? Multiplication. How do you get rid of multiplication? Division. Divide both sides by 3. 3 divided by 3 is 1. 1 times x is x. 12 divided by 3 is 4, so therefore x equals 4, or 4 equals x, either way. Notice that's answer B. They left off the x. That's another way of writing answers to algebra problem, is to put them into braces. And this test will do that. If there's an algebra problem, it won't say x equals 4. It'll just say 4 inside those braces. All right, that's topic number 4, proportions. Topic number 5. All right, here we go. These are probably ones that you're going to want to make sure you have on a solid, good resource card for those that can't remember these things. How do you change a fraction to a decimal? Change a fraction to a decimal. You divide the numerator by the denominator. That means top divided by bottom. So remember, what goes inside the long division? The top number, the numerator, goes inside the inside the long division symbol. Okay? So no, this is not a class on long division. So you divide 5 into 3, you get to an answer, and that answer is D, 0.6. Okay? Remember, this is called a terminating decimal because when you did this division, it ended on that first number right there. Other times, when you do the division, you may get, when you divide the numerator by the denominator, in other words, top divided by bottom, the one goes on the inside. Other times, you may get repeating decimals. Now look at the answers. What number is being repeated there? There's a 3, right? So therefore, the answer is C. No, I'm not going to get into long division. Just remember which number goes to the inside. So that's fractions to decimal, pretty simple. How about decimals to fraction? Okay, this is the one for some of you learned for the first time this year. All right, decimals to fraction. So here's what the deal is. Decimal to fraction, the numerator is the number to the right of the decimal place. Okay, so the decimal place is right there. The number to the right is 6. That is the numerator. The denominator is what place the last digit is in. So fraction bar, what number is to the right? Well, there's a 6, right? What's the last digit there? A 6. What is its place value? It's in the tenths place, so we put a 10. Reduce the hey, we finally got to reduce a fraction. Reduce the fraction 3/5. We better do another one, right? All right, here's another one. The numerator is the number to the right of the decimal place, 0.25. So 25 is the numerator. The denominator is the last digit's place value. What's the last digit there? 5. What place is the 5 in? It's in the hundredths place, so you put 100. Reduce. What goes from 25 and 100? 25. So that would be 1/4. Cool? All right. Solving equations. All right, you're like, wasn't this one of the last things we did? True, but remember the last thing we did was we made things negative. So this was chapter 7, I believe, yeah, there were no negatives involved. So these are all be solving equations with no negatives. Okay, so let's solve it. Where's the variable? Left or right side? Left side. What's attached to it? 9. How's 9 attached to n? By division. How do we get rid of division? Multiplication. So we're going to multiply both sides by 9. Why did I write a fraction there? Because n over 9 is a fraction, so we multiply fractions with fractions. 6 is not a fraction, so we just multiply it by 9. All right, let's see. 9 divided by 9 cancels, so we get n over 1. N divided by 1 is n, and 6 times 9 is 54. Answer A. How about this one? Where's the variable? Left side. What's attached to it? 14. How's it attached? By addition. How do we get rid of addition? Subtraction. Subtract 14 from both sides. N equals 7. One more. Where's the variable? Left side. What's attached? 13. How's it attached? Attached by multiplication. How do we get multiplication? Division. All right, this one's going to require a little bit of long division. Turns out that 182 divided by 13 is 14. So yes, there might be one or two that requires a little bit of effort, but this is one of those ones where when you do the long division and you get a number that is not one of the answers, then obviously you've made a mistake. Check your work. All right. We also did two-step equations. Two-step equations. The recommendation is always get rid of addition, subtraction first before multiplication or division. So where's the variable, left or right? It's on the right side this time. What's attached? There's a 9 and a 4 that I need to get rid of. The 4 is attached by division. The 9 is attached by addition. So which one am I going to get rid of first? My recommendation is you get rid of addition, subtraction first. So let's get rid of that 9. The 9's positive, so we subtract 9 from both sides. 11 minus 9 is 2. Now let's get rid of that 4. You get rid of division through multiplication. Remember, fractions with fractions. Okay, 4 times 2 is 8, and 4 divided by 4 is 1. 1 times b is b. b divided by 1 is still b, so we get b equals 8. Okay, one more two-stepper. Okay, recommendation, always get rid of addition and subtraction first. The variable's on the left side. I need to get rid of that 5 and the 6. The 5 is attached by multiplication. The 6 by subtraction. Let's get rid of subtraction first. Add 6 to both sides. 59 plus 6, 65. Get rid of that 5. It's attached by multiplication, so we divide both sides by 5. The 5's cancel. And 65 divided by 5, we just saw that with the previous one, is 13. Believe it or not, that's everything for those 3 chapters. Okay? All right. So remember what your job is. Your job is to do the practice test, which is on the bottom of the Google Forms. Do it not once, do it multiple times. For those of you that are extremely confident, do it once, right? And then look at it, maybe for 10 minutes each day. Just flip through it. Yep, I know this. The next one we do is going to be the one with the geometry. It's got all those formulas, so you're definitely going to want to make a really good resource card for those. But maybe some of you may be really confident about this half of it. That doesn't mean you should not do the practice test. Do the practice test. And lastly, I will pull no punches on the semester final. The questions that you see right now on this practice are exactly the same that will be on the test. I'll just change the numbers around, but it'll be the same thing. Hey, I got a two-step equation right here. You're darn tootin' there's going to be a two-step equation on the test. Hey, we did fractions to decimals. Definitely there will be a question on fractions to decimals. Okay? If there are any questions, email me. If you want extra practice, hey, that one practice test wasn't enough, I need more. Hey, send me an email. I'd love to give you some more work to do. And that'll wrap it up. I'll see you guys on Wednesday.